How did you prove your dad wrong? What the hell is this? My dad slammed my report card on the kitchen counter, his face red with rage. Those are my grades? I said, confused since they were all excellent. Theater? Choir? He spat the words like they tasted bad. What kind of pussy takes choir? You quit football for this fairy bullcrap. He crumpled the report card and threw it at me. No son of mine is going to prance around on stage. You need to stop acting soft and be a real man for once. Man up or get out of my house. I picked up the crumpled paper and smoothed it out slowly. You want a real man? I said, looking him in the eye. You got it. The next morning, I refused to shower because hygiene was feminine. By day 3, Dad had to drive me to school with all windows down, gagging from the smell. When his coworkers complained to HR about the stench on his clothes, his boss asked if everything was okay at home. It's fine, Dad said through gritted teeth when he got home, but maybe just use deodorant. Real men don't mask their natural musk, I grunted. You said stop being weak. His jaw clenched, but he wouldn't take it back. Just keep your arms down at school. Clearly that wasn't going to be enough to break him, so I escalated. I started trying to settle every disagreement with violence because real men fought for dominance. When the mailman accidentally gave us the wrong package, I challenged him to combat on our front lawn. The neighbors called the cops while Dad had to explain why his son was wrestling a federal employee. The mail stopped coming to our house entirely. Why would you do that? Dad screamed, his face purple with embarrassment. Real men defend their territory, I said, unless you think I should be soft about it. He couldn't bring himself to say yes, just stormed off muttering about boundaries. I stopped showing any emotions except anger because real men didn't have feelings. When Mom called crying that Grandpa was in the hospital, I just grunted and hung up. Dad had to call her back and explain, and I heard her screaming at him through the phone about what he'd done to me. Obviously, I texted her afterwards to see how Grandpa was doing and if she was okay, but she was more focused on telling me what an asshole my father was. Your mother thinks this is my fault, he said the next day, looking exhausted. Caring what women think is feminine behavior, I responded, and watched him die inside because he couldn't argue without admitting he'd been wrong. Then I started bringing roadkill home as trophies because real men were hunters. Dead possums on the porch, raccoons in the garage, a deer head I found and mounted on my bedroom wall using construction adhesive. His girlfriend threw up when she found me skinning a squirrel in the kitchen sink with her expensive knives. He's lost his mind, she screamed at Dad. He's just being masculine, Dad said weakly. But she left anyway and told everyone he was raising a psychopath. So that was the end of his love life. When teachers called about my plummeting grades because I'd stopped doing homework, real men didn't need books. Dad tried to defend it. At least he's not in theater anymore, he told the principal desperately. But when I got suspended for challenging my math teacher to single combat over a grade dispute, Dad had to take time off work to deal with it. Please, just be normal at school, he begged. You said normal was for sissies, I reminded him. Are you going back on your word like a weak man? He couldn't say yes. His stubborn pride wouldn't let him, even as his life crumbled. I showed up to his office wearing a loincloth made from deer hide, carrying a spear I'd fashioned, demanding to challenge his boss for pack leadership. Security escorted me out while Dad got suspended pending psychological evaluation. His coworkers wouldn't stop talking about it for weeks. Please stop, Dad finally begged that night, actually crying. I was wrong, okay? Take theater, join choir. I don't care anymore. But you said real men don't admit they're wrong, I grunted. Are you being soft now? His face went red with rage even through the tears. I'm still your father. A real man would fight me for dominance, I said, chest thumping. Unless you're too weak. Before he could respond, there was a knock at the door. 2 people in suits holding clipboards with Child Protective Services badges stood outside. We've had multiple reports about forced primitive living conditions, the woman said, looking at my loincloth and spear with alarm. I felt my stomach drop. This wasn't supposed to happen. I looked at Dad, expecting him to explain, but his expression had changed to something calculating. Thank God you're here, he said suddenly. I've been trying to get him help, but he won't stop this behavior. It's been terrifying. My mouth fell open as I realized he was throwing me under the bus completely. Full story on the channel below.